So the first thing we're going to do is our lamb. We're going to get that on to cook. The lamb dish, I've had this prepped for 24 hours. This is a leg of lamb. This lamb is local, as we've mentioned. This is a recipe that I particularly enjoy. So what we've got is leg of lamb with some rosemary, some garlic, some mint, some lemon zest, a little bit of Dijon mustard, and some salt and pepper. Okay, so you chop your rosemary, you chop your mint, you zest your lemon. I generally use a microplane for things like garlic because it's just a lot easier. Chop that all together on a chopping board. You can do it in a food processor if you wanted to. Mix in some oil, some rapeseed oil or some vegetable oil. There we go. And season with salt and pepper. So that goes on. Then the other end goes on as well. Rotisseries, I should have mentioned this in the morning session, but I didn't. And I ended up having a chat with a chap during the break who was looking at buying a charcoal barbecue. And I forgot to mention that just because I'm doing this on a rotisserie doesn't mean to say that to roast on a barbecue you need a rotisserie. So this is just going to go on here to show a different type of cooking. The benefit of the rotisserie is that the food will cook slightly quicker because you've got hot air all the way around the food. And you're able to cook it slightly on a direct heat. Okay? So, and also, one of the beauties about this is that it's going to self-baste. So the juices will kind of roll around inside that food. Over to the barbecue, we've got a good 160, 170 degrees C of heat in here. So just going to thread the point end of the spike into the motor end. Now, I've got this set up so that there's no heat in the middle. So let's just turn this on so that I can rotate the thumb screws around to me, because I actually need to slide it a little bit into the center of the barbecue. So if we just pause that there, and then we just loosen those off, slide the whole thing into the middle, and then tighten that back up again. Turn that on. That will rotate, so we've got no heat underneath where that leg of lamb is. We put the lid down, and that's just like an outside oven. We've let that come up to temperature, to room temperature, so it's going to be around about 18, 19 degrees. We're going to put that on, check that in about an hour, and we'll see how much longer it needs after that. You can smell the mint and the rosemary and the lemon and the garlic and everything else. There we go. 60 degrees, 58, 59. That is a nice pink medium lamb. If you took it to 75, it would be cooked. If you like your lamb pink, which I do, so you all have to have it pink. If you like it pink, then that has to be coming off at 60 degrees. If you, as we're going to do a little bit now, we're going to carve it a little bit earlier than we should do. So the juices might not quite be set in the middle. But if you gave that a good half an hour to just sit on a nice warm serving plate with the foil over the top, on the side in the kitchen, that would just be absolutely beautiful to carve and so juicy. So let's get this off here. That comes off. Undo the thumb screws, the modern day thumb screws. Turn that off. Let's take the whole thing off. If you roast on your barbecue, we have perfect weather in this part of the world for using barbecues regularly. And if you use your barbecue regularly and you're roasting on it, then you know that the roasts you create on the barbecue are far juicier and far more succulent than the roasts you cook in the kitchen.